everyone, it's Titi, and on this episode of At the Heart of It, we catch up with one of my favorite surfers, Chloe Calmon, all the way from Rio de Janeiro. She took a break from the tour this year, so let's see what she's been up to. Tune in. Okay.
You got this.
I'm definitely not going to make you do this a third time, so let's just make sure everything is exact. Cameras on, mics on, echoes off.
Recordings on.
Recordings on. Okay, when did you learn to surf?
I learned to surf when I was really young. My dad would always take me to the beach. I have photos and still wearing diapers on top of my dad's longboard. So to me, being in the water was always so natural. I learned how to swim within a couple months old. And my parents have always taken me to the beach, and I would go for some waves on my dad's longboard with him. And when I was 10, he gave me my first surfboard. It was a 6.0, like a beginner fun board.
Mm,
It had the Pink Panther on, back to when I used to like pink,
pink.
which was a long time ago. And I stayed with that board for like a year and a half too. And when I was around 12, I jumped on my dad's longboard one session, and I say it was love at first wave because
Yeah.
it like longboarding is so magical, and to me it was
Mhm.
the combination of the challenge because I could barely hold that board by myself. Like it wouldn't fit under my arm. So my dad would have to carry it up until the shore and then so I could start paddling and go surfing. And but then when I was in the water, I would feel so connected with the board, like um what's the word in English? A compliment of myself.
Mhm.
And also the other part that I used to see the older girls surfing and just to see them walking down the board and nose riding to me was always so beautiful, like a ballet on
Mhm.
top of the board. So the combination of
Yeah.
the challenge and the beauty and the finesse was what got me into longboarding at such a young
Mhm.
age. And after a
Mhm.
couple months riding a longboard, I started competing in some of the local contests here in Rio, and I got the competition bite on me, and here we are, almost 20 years after.
So you've been competing for 20 years,
For 18 years.
for 18 years, and this year you decided to take a break, right?
Yes.
What kind of led you to making that decision to step away from the tour?
Well, I'm a very, very, very competitive person, and I'm super perfectionist as well. So if I put something on my mind, I won't stop until I get it. And
Mhm.
I've been super driven and focused towards my competitive career since I joined the World Longboard Tour when I was 15. And my goal has always been be one of the best in the world and represent Brazil on the world stage and win a world title. I've got many times really close to the title, got runner up maybe 3 or 4 years. I got third place for a couple years. And when the season would finish, like instead of allowing myself some time to decompress and relax, recharge to start the year off again, like within a couple months, I would like go home
Mhm.
and start training the day after. So I wouldn't give myself time and give myself grace to like,
Mhm.
okay, like life goes on, you gotta try it again. And I feel like for not allowing me to decompress over the years, the pressure I put on myself just got bigger and bigger and heavier. And it was not a pressure from my sponsors, from my family,
Mhm.
from my friends, from my fans. It was mostly pressure that I would put on myself.
Mhm.
And people say that sometimes your worst enemy is like the voice in your head. And this is what exactly happened to me. And I got to a point, starting from a couple years now, that I would only enjoy myself and have fun if I would win an event. And I've had some moments that I was winning back-to-back events. I was like on a high and really tuned in with my surfing and with the waves, because it's not only about being the best surfer, but also being the one most tuned in with the conditions and with the competitive environment. So it all has to be aligned, like all planets has to be aligned.
Yes.
And and then eventually, like if I would get second or last, to me, it would suck either way, because to me, the win, that was the only thing that mattered.
Hmm.
And it started to, I was being so hard on myself for months, for years, and it started to get really heavy. And despite I was feeling like my strongest physically, I was training in the Olympic Training Center. I was on my fittest moment. My boards, I had the most amazing boards. I had good coaches by my side, but my mental side was not there already. So, and that is the main point of the pyramid for a high performance athlete. So, doesn't
Hmm.
matter if you surf well, you're well trained, but if your mind is not there, if you're not mentally strong, it's really hard um to get the results. And I got to a point that I was living the life I've always dreamed about, which was to travel around the world,
Travel.
surfing the most
Hmm.
surfing the most amazing waves that I always dreamed of going, but I wasn't enjoying it. I would tell myself like, oh, after I win, then I will have fun. Then I will do
Hmm.
this. Then I will do that. And I was going through all these amazing experiences, kind of like in an ungrateful way, and not fully enjoying the journey, only thinking about the destination. And last year I got to my limit.
Hmm.
I was feeling really burnt out towards the end of the year, and it was the hardest decision I ever had to take on my, not only on my career, but on my life, because surfing and competing has been my life for over 10, 15 years. So to decide to step out of it because I acknowledged that it wasn't healthy and it wasn't taking me anywhere nice, it was really hard, because at the same time, competing was my whole life. So if I don't do it, then what else?
What do I do?
What do I do?
Right. Right. Like
Like, do I
it's like
know?
a
Do I?
hamster wheel and
Exactly.
it's just like that's just what you're programmed to do, to step out of it. I can imagine is like, I mean, it's so good to have that awareness that it was time for you to. And then like probably feeling the pressure of, what your sponsors, how they were going to respond, or how WSL was going to respond, and how, I mean, I guess it's really important to know how did they respond? How what, when they
Yeah.
did hear the news that you were going to take a break, what was their reaction?
Yeah, there was a big, very important moment for me, because if at the end of the day they want me competing, like I would have to figure out a way to be competing. But I had like the best support I could ever have from my team and my sponsors. They all supported me through this decision, and from everyone, they were like, "We don't care if you are competing or not. We only care that you're happy
Hmm.
and you are enjoying yourself, and that you're good, like on top of all, like the Chloe, the person, it's feeling good,
Is
not
first.
Chloe Calmon, the athlete. Chloe, the
Right.
person comes first.
Hmm.
And that really opened my eyes, because if they support me on this, then it should be a good decision. And around the
Yeah.
same time, Steph Gilmore, Carissa Moore, and Felipe Toledo, around the same time, they all announced that they're gonna take a year off competing.
Hmm.
And to me, it was like, oh, if the big names are doing, then it's okay for me to feel the same way. Like
Hmm.
it really gives you a like
like a
some
weight
time
lifted
to
off your
relax.
shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you see
Yeah.
other people sharing their same struggles, and it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
like feel the pressure and ask to stop. And I went to, after I renewed with all my sponsors, thankfully, I went to Indonesia for 2 months. And this was the first trip in a really long time that I wasn't there for competing, for training, for shooting. I wasn't surfing with a watch. It was just the idea was just to surf my heart out and be surfed out. And I also brought a mid-length that I was having so much fun on it, and just changing the lines on the wave, and forget about nose riding for an instance, just doing like long and big lines.
Mm-hmm.
And on this trip, really refreshed my energy and my perspectives and my
Fall in
relationship
love
with
with surfing
surfing.
again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also a big point to me was around New Year's Eve. My dad got some of his friends from that he grew up with surfing, and they're all like in their late 60s, almost 70, and they're all with their Hawaiian shirts, so stoked about surfing, talking, oh, you should see my new board. Like, look at this video. Look this wave that Chloe surfed at Bells. Like, oh, she went to Bells this year. Oh, look, this new hot. Like, they're so stoked about surfing in general, and reminiscing on the times they had when they were like my age, back to when their conditions to go surfing were much harder. And
Mm.
I looked at that, and I felt so distant from this feeling,
Mm-hmm.
that I realized that if I kept going on the rhythm that I was going, I would probably quit surfing within a year or two. And to me, surfing is my lifestyle. Like, I want to be 60 something talking
Mm-hmm.
about surfing, as happy as I was when I was 12. And that's when I realized that I needed some time apart from competition to readjust my relationship with surfing. I feel
Mm.
like during this year, my main goal was this, to fall in love with surfing again. And I'm really happy that I have achieved that. And
That's so good.
it's been a long time since I felt this happy and this light when I go surfing.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me a couple months to turn off the voice in my head about performance, about like, you gotta do more, you gotta do more, you gotta push yourself, and to be like, no, if you're having fun, it's enough. Doesn't matter if you're
Yeah.
doing the sick hang ten, doesn't matter if you're just gliding or trimming, doesn't matter if you're eating shit, as long as you're like enjoying the moment.
Having
Everyone
fun.
has
Right.
these days, and embrace like all the good days, the bad days, and
Mm-hmm.
accept that it's really hard to be perfect all times.
Yeah. I did an episode with some of the groms on the team, and I asked them some of the best advice that, the seniority girls have given them before. And always their answer is have fun. And like that's like it's so easy, and it's so easy to understand, when you're telling a child like what it is in order to be successful, or in order to like, really progress and succeed in any profession, really, is make sure you're having fun. Because if you're not having fun, then why are you doing it? And then as an adult, that kind of goes out the window, and you forget about that. you know
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to say it to, but when you're talking to a kid, or you're talking to somebody who's like, who wants to do this, that's so easy. That's number one. you know you're not going to say like, oh, well, you got to do this, or you got to get to the nose faster, or you need to. No one's going to say that. You got to learn how to do this turn. If you it's, no It's always have fun. And then as an adult, the older we get, the more like, just kind of jaded you become, and you think, and that goes out the window. And then you put all this pressure on yourself that you need to have the scores, and you need to have the progression in your heats. You need to move on. Like that's it's so good. I'm so happy for you that you were able to recognize that and then do for yourself, which would be the most important thing to do, to take care of your mental health, and then, be brave enough to take to step away, because that's inspiring too, and that's important too. Like, I can't even imagine. I'm not competing. I don't compete at all. But every time I go out in the water, I'm always like, feel so much pressure. Like, okay, don't be an idiot. Like, don't crash into people and make a fool out of yourself. Even in France, like surfing with you guys, like I always feel this pressure of like I need to like perform, you know, and it's dumb. Like it's a stupid thing that we do to ourselves. And I'm glad that you got the support from your sponsors and from everybody, because it's important. And then that's really inspiring too, to get out of that hamster wheel of, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know,
Yeah. And
because
I
you're
think
just so
also
programmed to
in
do
the
it.
same hamster wheel, it's about caring too much of about what other people think of us. And that was
Yes.
a big step that I had to go through, because at first, what scared me the most was what's everyone gonna think of me? People would
Mm-hmm.
think I'm giving up, that I'm weak, that I'm never good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Always thinking about what people would think of me and my decision. And I remember that I struggled for a couple months, like trying to find the right words to announce it and to put on a nice post on Instagram, because
Mm-hmm.
I was getting all these messages. Why are you not doing ISA? Why are you not on
Right.
Maxi Log Fest? Why are you not in the national championships? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm like,
Right.
just like peace
Right. You
out.
feel like
Like,
you need to answer
yeah,
them. Yeah. Or you need
yeah,
to
and
answer
then
somebody.
yeah, but at the same time, I get it, because I'm lucky to have such a supportive community and people that really cheer for me. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter the time difference, they stay awake to watch me in heats, and I always get lovely messages. And I also got like messages from people like, "Are you okay? Like, is it something going on?" Because it's not natural of you, of being so quiet and so distant from
Mm-hmm.
everything. But I remember that it took me, not only when I finally accepted within me, like from Chloe to Chloe, that I needed this and I wasn't weak, I wasn't giving up. I
Mm-hmm.
was actually, on the other note, I was being strong and brave, and to speak out and stand up for myself, and in a moment that
Yeah.
no one else could do it for me but myself.
Right.
And actually, only when I realized that this was actually a big, brave act and act of courage to say to everyone that I was not feeling well and that I was not feeling at my best, that I needed some time to take care of myself and to heal, I started to feel like this inner peace, that as if you have like little wings on your feet. Like, I don't care what people
Right.
tell about me or think
Yeah.
about me, because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling my best. I feel light because I don't have this weight off my shoulders anymore. And I remember that I was in Spain or France. I don't know, but I was like on such a fun trip, and really like enjoying myself free surfing. And then I was in the shower, and then this, like, I don't know, the perfect words came up to me, and I got out the shower, got my phone, and wrote down like a couple words. And I was like, okay, I feel like today I'm gonna tell the world that I'm taking a year off.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted and like turned my phone off and went for a walk. And this, it was so nice, because I was feeling that I took like 20 kilos out of my back. And
Yeah.
the support I got from everyone was so nice. People
Good.
that I didn't know, people that I never heard of, people that I admire, but I didn't know that they knew me. So it was really nice, like messages from other athletes from other sports in Brazil as well, that I really look up to, some Olympic
Yeah.
athletes. And it was really nice. But I think it the good part, like I think the main lesson was when I started to feel good because I accepted and I realized it was me, like I was doing this for me, not to anyone else. And I used to care about once you acknowledge it, you see in so many moments of your day, of your daily basis, how many things you tell yourself that you are worried of what people are gonna think. So I would be surfing and then I would fall on a wave and get a huge wipeout. I'll be like, shit, people are looking me having wipeout. Like,
Same. That's how I
so
feel. And then you
what?
realize,
Everyone
like,
have a wipeout.
right, and no one cares. No
No
one's
one
paying attention to
cares.
you as much as you are paying it. You're the main character in your own world, and you
Yes.
think that everybody
And you're like, oh,
is
this
thinking
this
about you all the
swimsuit,
time.
it's not the best on me. It's not flattering. Oh, I feel kind of bloated today. What people are gonna think of
Yes.
me? Like, so what?
No one
No one's
cares.
gonna care. And
No one
and
cares.
when you realize it, I'm not saying that I became like a guru or and I'm like a spiritual guy because I still have some moments that I really
Right.
care a
You're
lot of what
human.
people think. But
Hmm.
just to get to a point that you acknowledge when you're doing and try to change this in your mind, that's a big win.
A freedom. It's a huge freedom. And it's really admirable when you see, you know, when you see your role models, whoever it is that you're looking up to post something so vulnerable because we're so accustomed to just seeing everybody's highlight reel and everything's great and I'm just winning and my life is picture perfect, and then people will naturally compare themselves to what it is they see and then beat themselves up because, well, my life doesn't look like Chloe's life or my life doesn't look like that. And then when you show this other side, this vulnerable side of it's, well, everything's not always picture perfect. And I'm actually kind of going through some stuff. It's so relatable, and people are going to gravitate towards that. Like, oh, like I have days like that too, where I don't feel like going on anymore, or like, continuing or working for more. I'm just like, I feel like just exhausted and I'm tired and I need a break. And I like, this is like what I'm going through right now. And people really, really, respond to that because it shows this side that it's okay to open up about that, because I feel like especially with mental health being this like thing of like taboo, and I'm especially for athletes because you're supposed to be strong all the time. You know, you guys are the role models of strength and bravery. And when you show that, well, this is an important thing to take care of too. Like, I'm not just working out my body. I'm not just like doing a bunch of breath work or, just training all the time, but I'm also like, focusing on how to make myself mentally stronger and positive, which is good. Like, what are some things that you have incorporated now to help with your mental health?
Certain things that I got into my routine this year and that really helped me go through this was to journal a lot. I'm sitting
I
in
love
front
that.
of, I don't know, maybe 10 journals, one from
Hmm.
each trip. So it's kind of like a
Yeah.
travel diary, but at the same time, I open up about how I feel and talk to myself. Meditation, and
Hmm.
also finding some, I don't know how to say English, ways of escaping or escaping ways.
Hmm.
Like things that you go do that you forget, like things that I like, hobbies that I found out that I like, that I forget that I'm pro surfer.
Oh, like
So
what?
kite surfing,
Fun.
there's a, it's not the right translation, but it's sort of a mix of soccer and volleyball at the beach that everyone in Brazil plays, and
I love that it's
I'm
all still extreme sports.
no, but there's a big difference. The big difference is to put yourself on a beginner position and eat shit for a long
Oh,
time until you get to a point that you do something right. and it's a really humbling experience because
Mm-hmm.
since I started competing on longboarding, that's all I've done like my whole life. So I didn't have any other hobbies, and I remember going on my first kite surfing classes, and I would see this 5, 6, 7 year old kids like going around me and doing things way better than I could do, and I would be like, "Fuck, like you should do this better." But like, wait, how much time did I take to catch away from myself? Oh, that took me a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. How much time did I take to learn how to nose ride properly? Oh yeah, that taking me a couple years.
Right.
So it's like
Exactly.
accept
You forget.
the learning curve. And it's really nice because it makes you embrace the little wins along the way. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing
Mm-hmm.
something on a professional level, you forget about the little things because you
Right.
just wanna be like all perfect, and then
Yes.
you're hard on yourself when one thing or other thing doesn't go your way. So these
Mm-hmm.
other activities that I've been doing, they've been helping me to think of other things and figure out what Chloe likes, not the athlete, but the
The little
person.
wins.
Yeah, and to
Yeah.
see
You
like how I find out how I like to dress out of my surfer skin, how like things I like to read that are not sports related, or places that I would like to travel to that are not surfing destinations. So just think
Oh,
like different things that make me realize that surfing, it's not, it has been my
right.
whole life, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not all of it. Like it's nice to have other areas to look into and get, pay attention and put energy into it, and like plant
Mm-hmm.
the seed and start watering these other areas. So if by instant, if I don't get the result I'm looking for in surfing, all these other things are going really well in my life. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
the only fruits that I'm waiting to harvest. You know what I mean?
That's
And
good. That's good. I love
yeah,
that. There's so much more. And you're
so
on a
much
road
more.
to rediscovering who you are. A full rebrand. And I
Big
love that.
time. It's
There's
a full
because
rebrand.
there's so much. Huh?
It's a full rebrand.
You're a rebrand. Right? Chloe the kite surfer. I thought you were gonna say like, oh, I took up knitting or I took up like painting, but no, just another one extreme sport to the next.
Oh, but one thing that is not extreme, it's actually like pretty boring, but it's important. Oh my God. I graduated in business
I'm so
school. It's not
Congratulations.
like
I did hear about
thank
that.
you.
That's amazing. That's when we need the sound effects.
Not action sports,
Congratulations.
but
That's
it's some
so
thank
huge.
you. I
That is
know.
so huge. So you
And it
graduated
took,
just a few weeks ago, right?
yeah, just a few weeks ago, and I studied so much this year because I've been in college for 8 years, and it's been really hard to uh, be a student and then a pro surfer at the same time.
Hmm.
And I cannot study. I couldn't study when I was away competing.
Right.
And when I'm studying, I cannot be like with my mind on training or something else. So whenever
Hmm.
I would have like a month break at home in between events, I would just sitting here on my desk on my laptop and and study like 10, 12 hours a day and do one semester in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which is
Hmm.
crazy, but that's the way I found to keep going with my studies along my career. And this year, my main goal was to graduate from it. I did my final scientific thesis for my graduation. It was around 40 pages that I had to relate
Oh, wow.
business school with my career. And I wrote about how is the importance of athletes being aware of their career and how to build a
Hmm.
long-term sustainable career over the years. And
Hmm.
it was really interesting because I found a lot of topics from business and management that I could totally relate and I was already applying on my career, like
Hmm.
logistics, for example, like when you go compete in a new place, like a couple months prior, you study the waves and then you make your preparation towards those conditions and then you order boards for those conditions. Then you get in early to acclimate yourself with the weather and the waves and jet lag. So it was really nice to
You
see
should start a
myself from a
school.
different
I would
perspective.
totally attend Chloe's surf camp. Because that's like you don't even think about those things. Like I've got one longboard and that goes. It doesn't matter what the conditions are. It doesn't matter any like that's the board I'm gonna take.
And the era, you know it because you're a Libra too. But for
Yes,
me, when I have all these options, I feel like, should I go with the 9.2 or the 9.3?
exactly,
Single
exactly.
fin or tri fin? Spring suit, 2 mil or 3 mil? Long sleeve or short sleeve? I'm like, ugh.
But see, those are all things that you need to. I should be taking those things into consideration. I don't. I'm like, I got one board. I've got two suits to pick from. This is it. I have some questions from from some people on Instagram that I'm going to shout them out. Let's see, because we had to do this again. I asked Instagram if they could send me some questions that they want to know about you. So at Julia Christini, she wants to know: did you ever find yourself in real danger, and how did you deal with it in the ocean? I
Um,
bet I didn't. Did you ever find yourself in real danger in the ocean, and how did you deal?
yes, I did. Last year, I was in Chile for the Pan American Games, and the waves were gnarly. It was huge. I think the finals they had uh, 12, 12 feet sets, 15 feet sets. It was the biggest waves I've ever surfed. And the water was freezing. I was with the 4-3 and booties on a heat. So like it was really, really cold. And we had to get on jet skis to get out to the outside where we would get the waves. But before face, like some closeouts on the shore break that were big as my building, and I was so freaking scared. And also, it's not like if it was a free surfing session, I would just be okay. I'm out of here. I don't have to do it.
Right,
But
right. This is not
but what
happening.
made it yeah, but what made it worse is that I had no option. I had to pedal out. It was a contest that I was preparing myself for 3 years, and I had the whole Brazilian team on the rocks cheering for me. I had my whole country cheering for me, so it was not
Amazing.
a situation to go back and sit down and cry.
I mean,
And
like
and
I've learned that anything this past like few months is the Brazilian fans are probably the most like die-hard fans ever. They're they're unreal.
yes,
When I like messaged about getting, questions for you, so I was like, I mean, I didn't know what I was to expect, but like so like I don't know if like a call went out to all of Brazil, but like I got all of these questions in Portuguese and I was like, oh shit. I didn't think this through. But you got some diehard fans, Chloe.
yeah,
Shout out
and
to
it was
Brazil.
like at the it was really tricky, but I have this thing with butterflies and dragonflies. And every time
Okay.
I see, especially a dragonfly, I remember of my grandma that passed away, and I was really close to her. And during those moments that I was going out for my heat and freaking out, my stomach was all like, "Ugh, I just don't want to be here." And then all of a sudden, I found myself surrounded by many dragonflies. And
No
right,
way.
right over there, I felt her with me at that moment, telling me like, "It's all good.
Wow.
You're gonna get through it." So that was what made me go through that and survive and be here to tell the
Wow.
story.
That's amazing. I mean, I believe that your grandma definitely helped you there. You have a dragonfly tattoo, right? Or a
I
butterfly
do.
tattoo?
Yeah, it's for her.
Dragonfly?
Yeah.
Cute. That's
Hmm.
so beautiful. Okay, at Alice Palme, she wants you to describe Brazil. Oh no, sorry. Describe Rio de Janeiro in 3 words.
Oh fuck. Um,
I know. Three's tough because I'm sure you're gonna need more. I mean,
um,
I'm sure there's so many that you could describe it, but you only get three.
okay. Smile, fun, and dance.
Beautiful. Okay, last one. The last one is from at. Oh man, I picked all these names that I'm butchering. I think her name. I think it's at Eugenia Pereira. She wants to know what was your most memorable surf experience.
Um, I've had many incredible moments, but the first one that came on my mind was when I went to Bali this year, and
Hmm.
it was my first time in Indo, and it was a place that I've always dreamed of going, and I've been wanting to come to Indo for so many years, especially because I've grown up hearing stories from my dad back to when he went to Bali like 40 years ago. So when he was around my age, 29, he took a sabbatical year from Navy and from work to travel around the world, and then he stayed like 2 months in Indo back to there was nothing there, and it was just very raw. And I've grown
Hmm.
up listening to his stories, surfing Uluwatu and Padang and going over the reefs and all of these things. So when I first paddled out this year in Uluwatu and I looked behind me with all those cliffs, I had goosebumps. And then I sat there for maybe 20 minutes without catching any waves and still with my hair dry, just
Hair
looking,
dry.
and then dry hair,
Hmm.
just like in a time machine, thinking of like
Hmm.
as if I was my dad at the same time, looking to
Oh
for the
wow.
same cliffs, and it was just really nice because it's also such a important um, place in surfing history and surfing culture. So I don't know, it just felt really like so powerful, and the energy that I felt when I pedal out there was so nice.
That's
And
beautiful.
yeah, and that was unforgettable.
That's beautiful. All right, well, that's all the questions from the fans I took because a lot of them were in Portuguese and I couldn't
Now I got
translate
one
them.
question for you.
Oh, you got a question for me?
I do.
What's your question
Me,
for me?
me, and your
Yes.
fans want to know when you are coming to Brazil.
You tell me when I'm coming to Brazil, Chloe, and I will come. I'll come tomorrow if I can.
I've told you
Actually, I'm
already.
like,
It's summer
I'm
all
so
year
ready to come to
long.
Brazil. Is
There's
it? Because I
that's
was gonna
good.
ask you when's the best time.
It's good all year long, and the real acai it's here. Forget about everything that you
Okay.
have eaten all
That's
your whole
definitely
life.
on my list for 2025 is I want to come like for this podcast and I was kind of like telling, Roxy like where I want to go with this and what we want to do and how do we move forward with it. Like I want to start going to you guys' homes. Like I learned how to surf here in Hawaii, which is beautiful and I'm so grateful that this is my home and I got to learn with Auntie Megs and Kilia and I want to start like going to where you guys learned how to surf, like because I know that will be the level where I can go surf. So like I want to like start traveling to Brazil. I want to go to Tahiti. I want to see Haiti and Wahine, and I want to like go to surf where you guys learned to surf, and you know go. I want to eat acai bowls at your favorite acai shop. I want to eat pozon cru. So I will definitely I am definitely coming to Brazil this year. If not next month, then February for sure. Let me know what your
Okay,
schedule is and I will come. I
nice,
promise.
nice. You'll be very welcome here.
Okay, good. I'm so excited. Let's definitely make that happen.
Let's do it.
Okay, ready for my rapid fire questions?
Yes. Oh boy.
Okay. Ready? Lefts or right?
Left, of course.
Lefts all the way, of course. Goofy. Favorite color? Green.
Green.
It's green. We know this. Chloe loves green. It used to be pink. Now she hates pink. And I love
And
pink.
now
And your
it's
favorite
all
color is green.
green.
And everything's green. Listen, everything here is pink. Pink, pink, pink. My flowers are pink. Well, some of them are pink. Okay. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Açaí.
Acai. Classic. Classic Brazilian. Favorite holiday tradition?
Um, Jump 7 waves on New Year's Eve.
You did tell me about this. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm coming in January. I'm gonna start my year in Brazil and I'm going to jump over 7 waves with you.
Done.
Let's do
Deal.
that. So is that like a Brazilian culture? Like, is that a cultural thing that you guys do there?
Yeah, so by the beach, we always have the fireworks by the beach at midnight. So everyone dresses in white and go to the beach like 10 minutes before midnight to watch the fireworks. And then you make your wishes, and then you go to the shore and you jump 7 little waves. And for every wave you jump, you make a wish for the new year. And some people go
Okay.
swim after. But I've done it a couple times, but if you do like just the 7 jumps is good.
Okay. Okay, I'm coming and I'm gonna jump 7 ways. I
You
definitely
already have
need
the
that.
wife the outfit. You're all wearing white.
Oh, you have to
So
wear
that'll
white?
take yeah.
Okay.
That's what we
Okay,
wear
good to
on New
know.
Year's Eve.
What's your favorite song?
Uh Shit, I remember it took us a while last time to figure out that one too.
I remember it.
Did you remember what I said?
Standing on the blank page before you,
Oh my
jumping out
God,
the
it's one of my
dirty
favorite
window. Let the
songs.
sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance.
This
Feel
was
won't
the
taste it.
song that I listened the most in all my trips this year, for sure.
Unwritten.
Yes,
I did
so
know
that can
that one.
go.
One piece or bikini?
Bikini.
Bikini. Do you have any siblings?
I do have a younger sister, Clara.
What's your name?
She's
Shout her out.
20, Clara, aka
Clara.
Clarinha.
Hi, Clarinha. Clarinha. What would be my Brazilian name or my Portuguese name?
Tiara.
Because someone said, what is it?
Tiara. But
Tiara?
instead of saying
Someone,
T, you say like chi.
oh, Tiara.
Tiara.
Chiara? Because someone said Chiarinha or something like that.
Tiarinha.
Chiraninha. I
We
love
usually
it.
put inha for all the things we want to say like cute or little. So my young
Oh,
sister Clarinha, that means like little Clara because
I
she's the
see.
youngest.
So when they
So
say
Tiarinha, that would be
Bruninho,
cute. Yes, little
and when they say
Bruno. Cute Bruno.
oh, I didn't know that. He's pretty little. He's pretty cute. Okay, let's see. What would be your dream surf trip?
Dream surf trip. A boat in the mental ice with my best friends. Just surfing our brains out.
Amazing.
And
Do you have a seat?
and
Oh,
having someone to carry the boards to the destination and back home.
now we're talking. That would be the dream.
Actually, to be honest,
It's
if
so
someone
hard.
carries my board, I can go anywhere. I don't mind the destination.
Right? Be a longboarder, they said. I finally like bought after France, I bought a new board bag because that's why I didn't bring a board to France. And because traveling with a longboard just sucks in general. So I was like, "Oh, I don't have a bag. I can't. So I'm just gonna borrow somebody's over there." And I got a new one, and I was like, "This sucks."
Why? Now I have
Why
to
is it?
travel with it.
Why is it so damn big? It's so big, and it has the wheels too, which is nice. But being a longboarder is very difficult just for traveling alone. But yes, on that. Okay, we need a roadie. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I Origins. It's an old movie.
I Origins. Is it is that in Portuguese?
No, it's an American movie from
I
the
Origins. Oh, you did tell me this. I need to watch this
2000s.
movie.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really
I
nice.
Origins. I'll watch this. How many languages do you speak?
Four: Portuguese, Spanish,
Mhm.
English, and French.
And French. And you like
How's your French, by
you
the
learned how
way?
to speak French. It's terrible. I'm on day 71 today. And it's so bad because like when I'm so Chloe actually inspired me to do Duolingo. I'm on day 71 of French. Don't ask me to say shit. Actually, what can I say? I can say words. Like I can say vache is cow. I can say cheval, which is horse. I can say bonsoir, comment ça va?
That's really good.
Thank you. And that's it.
That's nice.
But don't ask me to say anything else. And then, like, the problem is when I tell people that I've started taking Duolingo, the first thing they'll say is like, "Oh, say something," and then I'll panic and I can't say anything. Last one. Finish the sentence. The way to my heart is blank.
Giving me desserts.
You see, she's so easy, guys. That's all we want. That's what all girls
But
want. Just give us
don't
something
come with bad
sweet.
desserts. Give me a good
Oh.
one.
Don't come at me with bad desserts. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for doing this with me again, because this was our second time filming this episode. And I promise you, it will all work and it all filmed. I'm double checked, I triple checked. But you're so lovely and you're so easy to talk to. And I'm so proud and honored to be part of the team that you are on. And I remember meeting you for the first time and fully like fangirling and thinking, like, the hell? How the hell did I get here? Like, why am I on this team with all these like amazing people?
Oh,
I
Titi, we
shouldn't be
love
here,
you.
and they're gonna find out.
Oh no, you are amazing. We love you too.
You're amazing. I love you. All right, thank you so much for watching At the Heart of It. I'm TT. This is the beautiful Chloe Calmon, and we love you guys so much. Catch
I
next
love you.
episode. Love you.
Thank you.